The campaign I looked up was against sexual bullying, which also includes like appearance. The audience that it appeals to are mainly people in their teens because they get affected by it more because that's that kind of age where you want to like go out and see boys.
Like domestic violence sort of thing, or?
No, it's just in schools, you know, like when people get bullied. Okay. And it's like, oh, you're a slut. Oh, you've had sex with so many people, or you're a slag.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like that. It's because I think a majority of like girls have experienced that, like in secondary school.
Yeah.
Especially if there's boys. I was lucky enough to go to an all-girls school. But yeah, it appeals more to young teenagers because that's when they start going through things. And then usually when they get to college, it stops.
Do you think it's a bigger issue in mixed schools or in girls and boys?
I think it's an issue in both because I've been to both schools. I've been to mixed school and an all-girls school for secondary school. With boys, they're more, oh, you're a slag, oh, you're a slut, oh, why don't you come around my house and we can do blah blah blah. But with girls, they're more bitchy.
Because girls will say it as well.
It's like jealousy as well.
Yeah, they tend to go behind people's backs. It's like there were rumours about me going around the school where I was, and it was because everyone gossips, but they'd never tell you straight up front. So then I just had like random people come up to me. It's like, oh, did you do this? Like, no.
So yeah, it is bullying, ain't it?
Yeah.
It is. I think everything just
escalates.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
The next question is how do they aim to change or challenge attitudes, behaviours or laws? They just want to like raise awareness and kind of get people to stop. Especially nowadays, like you see on the news, which also connects to the second one, that or the third question, sorry. It's just that people are getting so badly bullied that they start committing suicide. And it's I also read in a newspaper that a boy who was only aged 9 committed suicide because of bullying. Yeah, it's getting more excessive now. So obviously they're trying to make people stop.
Do you think it's like a problem, like that men or boys can go around doing things and then girls go around doing things? Do you think it's about that, or it's about how girls like show themselves? So do you think it's right for boys and then wrong for girls, or like what's the?
No, I think obviously
because boys don't get bullied for it, do they?
Yeah, I don't know any boy
no,
that's
but
been
they
bullied
do
for being a slag. Maybe the opposite.
Yeah.
They get like for not
praised.
Or not being, like if they're like virgin or something and they're older.
Oh yeah.
Then you get like quite a lot of like.
Yeah, see with boys they kind of encouraged to go out and have sex.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But with girls, they tend to want to not have sex until they're older, whereas with boys they're like, oh, I feel like I have to go out and sleep with whoever. And then it is strange nowadays to come across a boy who's even like older than 16 who's still a virgin.
Yeah. Why do you think that started?
Peer pressure.
Yeah, it's all peer pressure.
No, but why do you think men are that way and women are the other way? Like, is it because of like babies and stuff? Is it because if someone has like a child when they're young, like they're not old enough to like look after it, and maybe we should be more sensible than boys, or like it's
boys don't
people,
have the
isn't
chance of getting pregnant and girls do. That's why it's all put on girls, because they can go, well, you can get pregnant from that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's their consequence. Boys don't really have many consequences.
But then again, with boys, it's not such a big thing to lose their virginity. Whereas with girls, it's like a massive thing.
It is. No, I think it's a big thing with boys. But it like if you don't, so like, so I think it's more a big thing with boys. Whereas girls are used to it. Like, oh, you haven't had sex yet. Oh, you haven't had sex. Like it's a good thing to not have sex.
Yeah, but then again, with girls, we tend to like wait for that someone special kind of thing. But with boys, they just want to kind of get it over and done with. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I have that sort of.
So then why are girls being bullied for it if they run away?
Well,
I think because girls are seen, like you said, girls say they run away. some people might not.
Yeah.
And then ones that don't, that's why they get bullied, because everyone thinks the girls
But then again,
have that more emotional attachment to it than boys.
Yeah.
So when they do it without the emotion, that's why they might get bullied.
yeah.
Because that's how they get.
But then
perceived.
again, it could also be like rumours, like saying like one person has had sex even though they haven't, and then everyone think that they have, even though they don't kind of get both sides of the story,
Yeah,
and
so
that could
it's
increase
bullying,
the bullying.
I think another thing about it, I don't know, like, whether it's that much of a big deal. Do you know what I mean? Like, whether people have sex or not, like, it's their choice. And I think that
No one should
maybe,
be bullied for it.
yeah,
No.
maybe some people, it might not even be like the sex sort of side of it, but it might be like having relationships and stuff with people. Like, why does that make them like a slag or a slut or whatever? Any more than someone who's like been with someone for like a long time and then had like been with them for like all that. So it just depends on like the type of person. I don't know. So do you think this company is like actually doing well in what they're doing?
Yeah, they're really trying. Funny enough, one of the questions is what impact have the campaigns had? And it's encouraging like more girls to stick up for themselves and more boys to kind of go, well, hang on a minute.
Do you think it's all boys though? It's not
No.
always the boys. I think it's a lot of the girls.
It
that
is,
I think
it's a lot of the girls thing.
I don't think so.
Well, it can be a bit both, because boys tend to try and pressure girls into having sex with them, but with girls they're like, ugh, it's disgusting.
I was looking at the UN Women Organisation for one of their campaigns that I was looking at specifically. They had a poster of a woman's face, and they put a Google search over their mouth, which and had like drop downs. So when you write in Google, women shouldn't, and it said like women shouldn't work, vote, box, and these were all real Google searches that were made in March in 2013. And obviously it shows how things really haven't improved that much over the past sort of 10 years, and how far women still have to go if people in 2013 still think about how bad how it is, like how women are not equal to men. Obviously the audience is women and men that believe in equality. How do they appeal to them? I think the pictures are quite striking. Like they're quite interesting to look at. Like they're quite cleverly done. The pictures of the campaign.
It's a type of thing called guerrilla marketing. I think the
Oh,
whole campaign thing do a lot of work with that to try and sort of shock people with the information.
With the truth, but it's quite visually interesting to look at. But there's still truth in the pictures.
There's another thing as well, wasn't there? Because we looked into it, and when you type in men shouldn't, or men should, and whatever, it comes up with nothing apart from men should not be married.
Yeah, men should not be married.
But
When you write women shouldn't, it comes up all things, and like women should be in the kitchen, women should be put in their place, women should
Like it comes
shouldn't
as
be
a
able
drop
to
down.
drive, it said, one of them. On the pictures, on the campaign picture, it said women shouldn't be able to drive. And that's a Google search that was made in 2013. That's quite striking, I think. That's quite shocking to me, anyway.
Yeah, and the fact that nothing comes up at all when you type in the men's one. Like, I'm sure if you, like, actually, like, clicked on it, then it would. But because there's no sort of options for it, it's almost as if it's like there's nothing that men can't do.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that girls shouldn't be doing and women shouldn't be doing. So.
Yeah. Another question is, what impact have the campaigns had and how was it measured? I think that campaigns like that, like even personally, when we were sitting there and we got into a really big discussion about how this is wrong, and they are quite shocking when you still think that people think that women ain't equal to men in 2014 now. Like, do you know what I mean? I think equality has gone a long way in the past 100 years. Like women could be able to vote and work and all that, but it's sort of come to a standstill now, I think. And you don't always think of it in daily life, but once you do think, you think, oh, actually, people still don't think that women are equal to men, and it is wrong.
I think maybe they've given us the rights is because we nag.
Yeah.
We're moaners.
Do you think that men have things like that? Is there things that they are like we think they should be doing? You know, like, oh, a man should open a door for a woman and stuff like that, and old things like pulling out chairs.
Yeah,
do you think
I do have
that
an
is
example
like?
for that. It's
Do you think that's?
you know, everyone expects the women to stay at home when they have the kids. Well, it's quite strange because I know several men who are actually house husbands.
Yeah.
They stay at home, but society looks down on them.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they've decided to stay at home.
Yeah, exactly. But then you think like in every day, women think, oh, say a man and a woman, husband and wife are going out for dinner. You expect the man to pay in a way. Like people do expect things like that.
Yeah.
You're going out on a date, and everyone thinks that.
The
Say
man
if
should
someone
pay.
said, oh no, we split the bill. People are like, what? You didn't pay? That sort of stuff. Men are expected to. Do you know what I mean? Put their money out and do stuff like that. So it is.
Yeah, but
in
then
a way.
Nowadays, it's becoming more equal where partners do share, they do split the bill.
Yeah, they do. But
Well, that's because they're both getting income. Before, it was the men who had the money. Like women, like my nan and granddad. Basically, my nan doesn't work, and my granddad is not like mean or like sexist or anything. But he gives her money to spend, so he can decide basically how much he's like spends. He's nice about it.
Yeah.
But like he could choose not to be, and he could say, oh, like, oh, I don't want you to have that today. But which is fair because she hasn't worked for it. But like at the start of their relationship, then he would have been the one to pay, or she'd have to get money from her father or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that kind of circumstance is understandable. For example, I'm on an income, but my partner isn't. So if we go out, I do often pay. But then again, I don't care.
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
It's like love. If you like them enough, then you like it shouldn't be it shouldn't be about money and things like that.
No, of course not.
But men, I think men do have expectations though.
Yes.
And we pursue them, and that's what is making equality still. Like that's why women aim